I guess they're willing to kind of go down.
Well,
Happen. Does that help this kind of move along and getting some resolution for the family? At least should really have taken it and had a would have a much better outcome, and obviously not the fatality of George Floyd. Welcome back to Now Media News. This is Sherman. President Trump signed an executive order today after the outrage that he had regarding Twitter, who were looking at suppressing, fact-checking some of his tweets. And so what this allows is more limited liability for social media companies like Facebook and Twitter, who are under the protection under Section 230 under the users posts. And so this allows basically under Section 30 a less overarching reach. And so a lot of politicians actually agree with this more liability that Facebook, Twitter, and social media companies have, in that making sure that they are being more in check and making sure that their algorithms aren't just allowing certain things to be shown, and thus in a sense swaying or in a sense filtering out what the public is meant to be hearing, and thus in a sense censoring the different posts out there. So that's a big deal of what President Trump has put out there as an executive order today. I know that other politicians have agreed with this move, and so it'll be interesting to see how this ends up playing a role on the various posts that start coming out, the algorithms that they have, and these social media sites are looking at ways that they can make sure that they work within the politics as different things like this occur. I know Facebook in the European Union is looking at ways that they can have a much more collaborative relationship. Obviously, that played a major role in Egypt and also Greece and the rest of circular politics. So we need to make sure that they're doing something that's impactful and influential, not just it's being seen as one-sided towards one party or another or one group or another.
Yeah, that's right. I think that in the interview, Secretary talked about the First Amendment and freedom of the speech and how
Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, that is really over the oversight of communication and how it's communicated to the public. And ultimately, these social media sites have grown far beyond, I think, some of their imaginations. Obviously, 2 billion users on Facebook. The President Trump has over 130 million followers that train his social media sites. And so it was a way that he can leverage social media in talking and communicating directly with
Sherman is kicking teeth.
Voter base and circumvent the typical media and really control his own narrative. At the same time, it's been a way for him to be able to kind of lash out at various politicians, business individuals, and so they're not necessarily been used for good, but definitely it's one of those things that has a lot of reach, and so it needs a little bit more guidelines and regulations to be able to make sure that things are being properly communicated to the public in a way that's not biased.
exactly. And we have more protests in Hong Kong and the conflict with China. What's happening?
And the EU now, Secretary, they view it that Hong Kong is no longer an autonomous political entity. And with that, there are a multitude of people in Hong Kong that are protesting. Pepper spray has been used. People have been arrested over this. This is a big deal for those that are in Hong Kong. They had a particular freedom of speech and representation, and that's being taken away as China continues to put their overarching political arms over them. One of the major concerns, though, is that as they're making that overreaching arm, the EU, various European countries, the United States are deeming this as kind of a not good thing from the perspective that they're going to start maybe even creating sanctions, economic sanctions. It's going to affect trade. Donald Trump did say that he plans to address what his take is the relationship with China because of this. So this only creates more tension between U.S. and China relationships.
Yes,
Where it used to be, despite some of the reopening of various countries and states in the United States, the travel still is amazingly low. American Airlines, that would equate to somewhere close to around 5,000 employees that they're looking at having to unfortunately lay off. The PPP only gave them a certain amount of benefits, and so unfortunately we're coming to really the end of this. The CEO of American Airlines has vowed, though, that they will not go bankruptcy is not something that they're looking at as an option. They're going to see what they can do to continue to stay viable. And this is just one of the many airlines around the globe that's struggling with this, right? We know that Germany offered a $9 billion buyout of Lufthansa, but unfortunately the board actually rejected it because it didn't think it would the nimbleness, the flexibility to be able to come out of this in a good fashion. We know that Bain Capital in the United States is offering to buy Virgin Airways in Australia. So there are many companies out there globally that are also going to be facing the same struggles that we are here in the United States.
okay, and bad weather postponed the historic SpaceX.
Where it used to be, despite some of the reopening of various countries and states in the United States, the travel still is amazingly low. American Airlines, that would equate to somewhere close to around 5,000 employees that they're looking at having to unfortunately lay off. The PPP only gave them a certain amount of benefits, and so unfortunately we're coming to really the end of this. The CEO of American Airlines has vowed, though, that they will not go bankruptcy is not something that they're looking at as an option. They're going to see what they can do to continue to stay viable. And this is just one of the many airlines around the globe that's struggling with this, right? We know that Germany offered a $9 billion buyout of Lufthansa, but unfortunately the board actually rejected it because it didn't think it would the nimbleness, the flexibility to be able to come out of this in a good fashion. We know that Bain Capital in the United States is offering to buy Virgin Airways in Australia. So there are many companies out there globally that are also going to be facing the same struggles that we are here in the United States.
Okay, and bad weather postponed the historic SpaceX.
Coming on, Dr. Pamela Gray, and sharing with us what we can anticipate for SpaceX.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being here.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back soon, folks. Everybody, Now Media News. Again, thank you, Dr. Pamela Gray, for coming on the show and sharing with us.
Yeah, and we have us, our physicist, and Dr. Pamela Gray back with us, here connecting with us, and we're going to talk a little bit about our podcast, Astronomy Cast.
Juan is not there.
That I've been doing with co-host Fraser Kane since 2006. We take our audience on a fast-paced tour of
That's what's happening. Look forward to the excitement happening.
What's the matter with you, Gavin?
We're going to go more of the news, folks. Unfortunately, we're seeing a little bit of an increase here in the state of Texas, a 3.2 increase with COVID-19, and also other parts of the country. Still under
It's also
travel
white
ban
people.
to outside of the United
Like
States.
the Asians.
Although there are some
We're keeping it to ourselves.
nuances that's occurring as we continue to open up
There's an increase
our
of cheese
borders,
percent.
sports, clubs are starting to open, and that's exciting. The next race will be the vaccine, and getting a lot of these pharmaceutical companies into doing testing and seeing how we can find a successful vaccine that will help eradicate this COVID-19.
It's a cute, nice. Oh, look at that.
Unfortunately, recently found in Texas Children's Hospital was a multi-system inflammatory syndrome, MIS-C. It looks like it's linked to COVID-19.
Oh, shit.
It says it's similar to the kamikaze disease in that it includes a high fever, rash on the chest, back and abdomen, red eyes and conjunctivitis, swelling and inflammation of the mouth, lips, and throat, enlarged
That's what happens when you
lymph
take like
glands
those
on the neck, and redness and swelling in the hands and feet.
medication that helps
So
you.
the thing to
help you.
understand
That's
is
what
that
they say at the
what we're
end.
experiencing with a lot of these diseases and that
Like Feels a healthy heart rate. Heart. Everyone has heart.
And the side effects are
Diarrhea, heart attack, more heart attack, headaches, vomiting, sticky feet, raspy voice, sore throat, more diarrhea.
and sometimes.
Still would encourage as people, as states are beginning to open, bars and fitness clubs are beginning to increase their capacity.
It's trying to record that.
To make sure that you're doing it safely. Make sure that if you need to wear gloves, definitely wear a mask when you're out and about, and that's going to be able to help us, due to social distancing, hopefully eradicate the COVID-19 that's upon us, not only here in the great state of Texas, but also throughout the world.
Oh, quiet time.
Yes, and speaking of new openings, the first Las Vegas casino. First, several tourist attractions are reopening and offering.
When she's close to them, like, what happened to that? Did he close?
Yeah, so Disney announced that they're going to be reopening in July. That's what they're shooting for. Didn't give a specific date in July. But definitely your experience at the Magic Kingdom might not be as magical as you might think. The requirement to wear masks.
Make it a nice, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. You're welcome. Tell Candy thank you.
Thank you.
Looks like if you're no longer allowed to be that close to people, and what those rides look like. So a lot of people that have gone to Walt Disney World or the Wild Kingdom, they were used to having these long lines waiting for rides. It's about to be an interesting engagement as you go about the Magic Kingdom. So also anticipate temperature checks.
Good, how are you?
And another thing that will be required is cashless transactions.
I'm going to
avoid the spread of COVID-19.
Come into my office. Let me take Susan down to the knives. Come on, Susan.
Money, that seems to be the major concern. And so will they really be, is this somewhat indicative of what we're going to experience when we go to theme parks or even sport events where there's a large gathering of people together, yet to be seen as most MLB, the MLS, the NBA, the NFL, they might have announced that they're going to have a season. They just haven't given any details of what that's going to look like from a spectator's perspective.
We're partying
Yeah,
today.
but there's areas that definitely temperature checks, capacity, wearing masks.
Actually, here it is right there, but it's actually, you wanna poke your head in?
Welcome back to Now Media News. This is Sherman of Now Media News. And so you can tell these, thank you for Jaime Barba of Texas Crime Prevention Agency for providing us these masks to be able to allow us to be able to continue to practice social distancing. Appreciate your
Wait,
work
what?
that you're doing in the community.
Wasn't the
So
guy just
really
wearing that
appreciate you
mask?
donating these masks for us as well.
Oh,
no.
Stay,
See, this she has
social
one too.
distant and
Let me
safe
get
during these
extra.
COVID-19 times. Unfortunately, as we look at COVID-19, folks, it's taken over 100,000 U.S. lives at this particular state. That is the equivalent of the entire city of South Bend, Indiana. And that's just occurred in the last 4 months. So it's a major concern as we look at what's happening here and wanting to flatten the curve and stop spreading the disease. Definitely the encouragement is to be able to make sure that we're practicing social distancing. And so we appreciate everybody that's out there wearing the masks. Although we know it is convenient and cumbersome for some, it allows us to be able to make sure that we go about it in a safe manner. The other thing that we have a look at is on other news.
Yes, the 2020 Boston Marathon has been canceled and it will be held virtually. For the first time in its 124-year history, the Boston Marathon has been officially canceled, adding another blow to a region already hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic. More than 2 months after postponing the race until September.
Announced that they're going to postpone and look at 2021 as the next launch of their musical festival. And so that's a major news as we have a look at people and getting together in large groups. And so as we look at what businesses are doing to encourage social distancing, this is what the major concern is how are we able to make sure that we're able to meet together in these group settings in a way that's safe. I know that a park out in San Francisco, what they did is they actually that woman in China, and her job actually is that she studies the bats that actually infect humans, and so like COVID-19, which was transferred from bat to human contact, and her concern is that this is just the beginning. And so now that we're a global economy, we're a global people, we travel all over the world, we have a tendency to bring these visitors with us. We might not declare them on our customs forms, but they are with us, and so it's a major concern. And so for her, her talk is to go to make sure, and rhetoric is to make sure that we have planning for this as we start reducing. And so as we look at temperature, we look at masks, we look at gloves, we look at social distancing. This might be something that's going to be so again, thank you for Jaime Barba from Texas Crime Prevention. There are going to be other so crucial here in our community, Harris County. If people are unfamiliar, we're still encouraged to have stay-at-home orders until the end of basically mid-June. So we can make sure that we reduce that. Of course, if you're in essential business, or you need to get out, you need to get those needed groceries and those needed errands completed, please do. But at the same time, encouraging people to stay at home.
We're gonna ask you if they go out.
Absolutely.
Another news that we may tell those who are tuning in is that Google plans to open some offices in Dubai.
I know locally, 3066 is looking at bringing parcel departments back into the workforce and making sure that they're keeping the social distancing. They're making sure that those that might have a need at home from a health perspective, and they themselves are concerned about their health, they're given the flexibility to continue to work from home. And so it's definitely something that we're going to have to adjust to going forward. How do we navigate our own workplace, or how do we extend it to our employees so to make sure that they have the personal protective equipment, PPE, to be able to make sure that they stay safe and they feel safe when working at the office.
Yes, and also we have to advise them that there may be a second wave of COVID-19. We don't know for sure, it's not a fact, but they're saying that it could be a possibility that this virus is something that is going to stay for a long time. And
You punch it.
could expect a second wave of COVID-19. So we have to
And that's really where it comes down to the push for social distancing, the wearing of masks, the wearing of gloves, being able to make sure that if you feel sick, you have a fever, you stay at home, you stay away from others, and making sure that's your right? Avoid groups of over 10. So as we do that, we're helping each other stay safe. Well, folks, that's the news. This is Sherman from Now Media News. And
Maite Ballesteros, and thanks for
it says that when the looting starts, the shooting starts, and so it's just not in good taste. It's nothing that is necessarily illegal. At the same time, we don't want to encourage people to be taking to arms to be able to move forward with violence. Not a good situation. The day has been busy with President Trump. We also then decided to break ties as we shift our conversation more towards the unrest, unfortunately, of what's happening between China and Hong Kong. China is forcing their security laws upon Hong Kong. Secretary Pompeo has recognized that Hong Kong no longer is an independent state having the autonomy that they used to have. We're not the only country that is in agreement that this should not be done, where China is basically no longer allowing Hong Kong to have the freedoms that they have had for many years. The UK, Canada, Australia have both come out and vocalized their agreement that they do not agree with the way that Beijing is handling the autonomy, or really the restriction now of that autonomy with Hong Kong.
You're gonna eat it, thank you.
Protests and unrest in that city.
right.
No.
And then a journalist was arrested earlier today while working and while reporting. The journalist's name is Mark Menace.
And so we're still seeing a restriction on that, and so it's kind of alarming that we have this still occurring where people are traveling. Of course, this is illegally across the border here between U.S. and Mexico. Before we break for a quick commercial here, folks, we'll be able to make sure that some of the videos that we've shown you of some of the protests, we know that some of them might be a little bit graphic in nature as police have tried to control the massive protesters that are occurring in other parts of the world. So we appreciate all the other media that have provided some of that video content, like CNN and Metro.co.uk, and also, of course, that Facebook feed that Fraser had taken the unfortunate incidents that occurred with George Floyd. We're going to come back, folks, with more news and talking about what's happening in the rest of the world.
Hi, this is Carla Gordon. You may remember making the morning news. We know that finding the right team for your painting project can be overwhelming. And if not done right, a painting project can easily go over your budget. At CertaPro Painters of Central Houston, our professionals will ensure your residential or commercial painting projects run smoothly and are convenient for your schedule. From your new time to what matters most. CertaPro of Central Houston has been serving the Houston metro area for more than a decade and has a solid reputation. You can read reviews from our clients.
Hong Kong and China, and what that relationship is looking like. I think now we have talking about COVID-19 and the struggle that we're having with its effect on businesses here in the United States. Consumerism, for those of you that might not know, 2/3 of consumption is what makes up the U.S. economy. A big part of that being the restaurant business. We are going to have someone in to talk about how that's going to affect.
Please leave a message after the beep.
I'm hearing that we're having some technical difficulties in connecting the two together. But as we look at this, as states are reopening the borders, they're allowing restaurants to be able to have access. The concern is that you're only filling up about 25 to 50% of capacity, and so a lot of businesses, restaurant owners have said, we're concerned with a lot of lack of patrons is leading to lack of revenue, and that then they can't
10% of the track.
Fine. Yeah.
Tax more like axe.
Oh, yeah, me.
In talking with one restaurant owner yesterday, they mentioned that they were actually very well positioned. They actually had a lot of presence online and delivery, and so shifting into this time period where it's been more.
And a third warehouse even to be able to process a product and maintain a social distance. Because the last thing that we want is what you see in the meat plants in Iowa and other places, that the food bank got infected. Now you're not, sure that if you can eat the food from the food bank. So being able to maintain that trust from the community is of important, very important to us right now.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, we've seen in Iowa that approximately more than 500 employees got infected. And
number one, if you have the time and the energy, please go to houstonfoodbank.org and register, volunteer. It's only a 4-hour shift. At the same time, if you yourself have been blessed during this time and you are employed, you aren't concerned about the food on your own table and your instability, please have a look at volunteering and donating if you can. $1 on their website can go a long way as they're able to leverage their ability to buy through food assistance programs. And you heard Michael mention that they're serving over $1 million pounds worth of food every single day. For those of you that don't know, the Houston Food Bank is the world's largest food bank, and they serve an amazing amount of people, especially during this time. They're in need of volunteers. When you're going to a restaurant, it sounds like they're doing all that they can to be able to make it safe. It'll be very interesting to see what restaurants really come out of this COVID-19 in a stronger way. We have a lot of things pressing against them. Not only is it reduced amount of patrons, right? Because they only can serve 50% in most states. And then on top of it, you already heard they have really low margins. And then now they're having a problem with supply chain of getting food due to some of these processing plants, as you mentioned, right? What was that in Iowa? How many?
Yeah, in Iowa, approximately 550 55 people, 20% of their staff, including management and workers, were infected with COVID-19.
And so that is a massive plant, right?
And
To have that many people working there.
Yeah, well, approximately. I mean, they have approximately over 2,000 people, but it's 555 people, contaminated with COVID-19. That's a big number. So therefore, they had to close the doors to prevent further spread of COVID-19.
Wow.
Wait.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and that we have talking with the NBA, the Major League Baseball, the MLS. They are all looking at ways that they can actually start their season. So they are basically welcoming any idea at this point as a brainstorming process. But they definitely have mentioned that it will be a fanless, spectatorless experience. On to other news as we look at tomorrow, we have SpaceX. They're looking to have another launch.
That's right, but it's going to depend on the weather. We're hoping that SpaceX will launch tomorrow, but again...
Yesterday it talked about what's occurring. She mentioned it's not just the weather there in Florida, but it's the weather all the way up as the shuttle goes past the northeastern part of the United States and up past through Canada. You have to start looking at weather patterns pretty far away, as it takes, what was it, about a day?
Yeah, it takes about a day to get into space, and they don't know exactly how long they're going to be there, but at least a day to get into space. But yeah, definitely the weather has to be good for them to be able to launch safely. Otherwise, NASA won't launch.
Safety being the first primary goal for those astronauts that are going to be heading out there into space. Very exciting times, that's for sure. Something to look out for. Watch this weekend, especially since there aren't any sports yet being televised. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick. So that's truly a social distancing sport. The only thing that you do is that tennis. So maybe they put an X and that becomes your ball, and then the other person wouldn't touch your tennis ball, and the other person would be able to stay in the court.
Yeah, well, I think that the French Open, obviously, it's been canceled, and so has the British Open. But I think the U.S. Open that's going to take place in September, right? August, September. I think they're hoping to have that they will be able to play and not cancel it. So.
And it's definitely one of those sports you can't do virtually. I don't think they can play the Wii.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
All right, folks. We hope you have a safe weekend as we close things out here. We want to wish you a safe weekend and make sure that you do things that are going to keep you out of safe harm. So remember to wear a mask if you're going to go out and about, especially when you're doing those errands or those essential business things. At the same time, if you are going to protest, please do it safely. Remember that justice is going to be served, and it sounds like it's going to be done quickly. All right, everybody. Thanks again. This is Sherman from Now Media News.
And this is Maite Ballesteros. Have a great rest of the weekend.
Wait, what did she say she was? It's recording. It's recording. Oh, it's just they just stopped.